Hi, this is Kumar Singh from Designed Analytics LLC, and you're watching another episode of Tuesday Trivia. Well, the question that we are going to discuss, or the answer to the question that we are going to discuss, is when it comes to all the technology jargons out there, or all the technology capabilities that you hear, right, that you need to focus on, build, what is the most critical area that you should focus on? Right? So that's the question. Many of you will start thinking that my answer would probably be AI, right? Enterprise AI, because I keep on harping about that. Well, there is no doubt that every organization will eventually have to build an enterprise AI capability. But based on my understanding, from my experience so far in my career, from my readings again, I do not consider myself an expert. My answer is data capabilities. That is the most important area that companies should focus on to begin their journey, because let's be kind of candid, right? Most companies over a period of many years or decades, right, they have built a plethora of capabilities, just kind of layering one capability over the other, somehow making the disparate portfolio of systems work by integrating them in one way or the other. But the fact is that the underlying data landscape, the underlying data architecture, the network always remain fragmented. And even when they move to the cloud, right, there are companies who have largely moved to the cloud, but they still have on-premises. Within cloud also, there are like a plethora of data sources, considering the different offerings they may be using and the different SaaS services. Then they have their on-premises. I think one of the biggest challenges that companies will face when they are thinking about enterprise AI, a comprehensive enterprise AI solution, even if it's focused initially on one function, right, is data capabilities. They need to have their data ready in a specific format, right? And this is where the tricky part comes into play. So though you have to focus on the data part, right, to start your journey, you also need to have the end state in mind, right? You also need to understand, okay, what are the end capabilities that I need to have? And those cannot be lofty, right? Those cannot be lofty that we want to build the best enterprise AI system in the industry, like best of breed and all that. It has to be very specific. So what it means is that basically in terms of planning, you are kind of taking the whole journey all the way down to what the end capability will look like. And then you kind of, in terms of execution, right, when you need to start executing, you come back and then understand that in the fundamental data layer, how exactly can we go ahead and build data capabilities that will help support our vision, right? Now there is another aspect. Let me add some more complexities. And again, I'm not an expert. These are just examples, and to add to this, the examples are not comprehensive. The complexities are more than this. But any organization that actually does not kind of focus in a very obsessive way on making sure that the data capabilities are in really good shape will never have enterprise AI capabilities that actually deliver. On paper you may have, right? You may have, there may be a singing and dancing festival to celebrate that you have gone live, all that stuff. But the fact is, eventually it will fail, it will not deliver value, right? So yeah, the other layer that I was going to add, right, the first thing was that you go all the way in terms of all the details to understand what the end state looks like in terms of precise all the technical architecture and components, so that you can roll it down to the data capabilities that you need to start building. But you also have to be kind of very much cognizant of the different steps you will take, right? Because practically it's not feasible to build those kind of data capability that you will need to have an enterprise AI solution, say 5 years from now, up and running and like delivering, connecting the entire enterprise end to end in a smart way will be difficult. So there will be journey. So you have to incorporate that also, right? That goes into the plan of building the data management capability. So these were just two examples, but yeah, to summarize, the most important area specific capability that you should look into right now, because I am pretty sure most of the organizations still struggle on that part, where they may have some really good data capabilities but in silos. But if you're looking at an end-to-end enterprise solution, right, you need to have that strong foundational layer, and that's why that is the layer, the data management, the data layer that you should focus on as a very first step. Well, thanks for watching. I will see you again on Thursday.